Hello there, I'm Mike Whitby and we're here in Burnley to examine the changes to education brought about by the riots in 2001. After the riots, the Labour peer Lord Tony Clark of Hampstead fronted what was claimed to be a consultation task force to establish the causes of the troubles and what should be done to avoid a repeat in the future. Lord Clark ignored the obvious and instead claimed that the real problem was that, and I quote, Asian immigrant and white indigenous communities have led parallel lives and they must be forced to acculturate, which means integrate. He said that the best place to start would be in the schools. Only secondary schools would be replaced with larger, racially integrated super schools, which resulted in many redundant school buildings. This is the former technical college, a listed building, which fell into the hands of a developer who applied for planning permission to convert the school into residential apartments. The application failed and the building has since been purchased by the Moeddin Trust, formerly the Al Aya Trust, who intends to establish an international Muslim boarding school for 1,500 girls. When we spoke to shoppers in the town, most feared accusations of racism and refused to discuss the matter, but here are a few brave enough to offer their thoughts and opinions.
The community is already divided as it is. It's just with the Muslim school down there, it's just divided. We're never going to mix, ever. So that's all I can say in the matter. We're never going to mix.
On whose side would you put that? Would you say that that's the...
I think it's both sides, to be quite honest. It's on our side and also on the Muslim community. Both sides, I do. You know what I mean? Definitely so. I agree.
So you would say the multicultural experiment has been a failure?
It's failed, totally failed. It'll never ever happen. Never happen. Not in my lifetime anyway. Never happen.
But when they get out of school, they're going to be more about separation rather than getting along together. They'll be used to being around people of just their ethnic origin.
Burnley isn't the best place in the world, to be honest.
No.
That's because you live here. You don't see the bad sides of
but the schools aren't very good, to be honest.
So what would you change then?
Everything. They shouldn't have merged the schools together to start with.
No.
Everything just went downhill.
We all go to Hamilton.
Super schools.
Yeah, they're not really super. They're loose.
We go to Hamilton, which is the Habegum and Ivy Bank, and it didn't work off for the first few years. Many riots and everything like that. It's working, but only slowly. So it's not a good. I don't think it's a good idea to join them.
What I don't understand is how for Hamilton now they decided to merge the two schools together, Ivy and Aberdeen. But now they decided to shrink it down for the new building, which I don't understand.
There's only 750 places.
Which means for
the new building.
At least 900 in Hamilton.
There's more than that.
Next year there'll be about 750. It's just losing people.
So what's going to happen to those people?
I think people just don't want to come anymore.
It's the high. It's for the people that are the ones that's getting the higher grades, which I think is unfair as well. Because, again, not a racist comment, but most of the people that are receiving the higher grades are white.
I thought that was actually racist to me.
Well, no, I don't mean as a racist comment, which is true, which then would mean that there'd be a lower Muslim community in the new building, which then will increase the more in the college.
But then we'll increase more in the Muslim buildings. Places.
And it's not fair.
Well, I think it's just gone too far. I think it's just gone too far now. They're getting everything they want. It's divided in about time, isn't it? I mean, look at Blackburn, look at Burnley. They all have their own areas. And then they say it's all racist, it's them.
Terrible. Let's go. I think, well, what would happen if we went and opened a white-only girls' Christian school? Nah, I can't see Muslim community being happy with that. I think we get called racist, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair. What's wrong with all brand new schools that have just been put up? Why can't Muslim girls go to schools there?
Well, not really, because, it is really in Burnley.
No, I don't agree with this at all. I think it's very bad taking our historic buildings like that. I think it's ridiculous. I do, really. Yes, I do. I think the government has started to put the Islamic people before us. And it's, after all, we are English, England's our country, and if we had to go to Australia, or take my son is married to a Thai girl, he could go to Thailand with his wife and just be accepted as a citizen of their country. It just doesn't work that way. But in England, there seems to be nothing for us at all.
About that. I am a Pendle councillor.
Oh, right.
Yes.
So how do you feel about that particular project?
Oh dear. Well, mixed feelings on that. I'm mixed feelings on that. Very much.
Would you like to express one or two of them?
No.
You're entitled to your view.
Yes, but not. No.
But what can you do? I mean, everything. If you say anything, you're racist, aren't you?
Beyond the local Liberal, Labour and Tory councillors, it's difficult to find much support for these so-called new super schools. But from the outset, the BNP councillors have opposed the plans, pointing to the fact that buildings do not educate. When the government decided to merge the schools, educational standards plummeted and are still struggling to return to acceptable levels. The people of Burnley got their new school buildings and the debt that comes with them, but have yet to see the promised improvements in educational standards. The Muslim community is also clearly unimpressed with the new regime and have decided to establish an Islamic school for girls. But establishing these schools in rejected school buildings is a slap in the face for those who champion the cause of integration. One of the champions of multicultural Burnley is the town's bishop, the Right Reverend John Goddard, who is quoted as saying that the prospect of a Muslim college, quote, makes him weep. Bishop Goddard then went on to say that Catholic and Anglican churches had held back from establishing their own faith schools in the aftermath of the 2001 riots in order to help the integration process. Burnley may have shiny new school buildings, but it is clear that education has been sacrificed on the altar of multiculturalism.